Time for sound design. In this video, I'm going to do some sound design and I'm going to record this piece of paper. Let's go. So next to me, I have the RØDE NTG-4 shotgun mic that I'm going to use to record the sounds with. And I have enabled a track setup, an audio track where this RØDE mic is coming in. So I'm going to put it a little bit further away. It's a very sensitive mic, so I don't need to be too close to it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this paper up and create some kind of textural loop from it. So let's go. All right, so let's look in Ableton what we have. So this is the recording we have. So I'm going to start with this first tearing up the sound. Let me duplicate it. So I'm just going to start editing the audio. I'm not going to put it into simpler, just on an audio track and see if I can create some kind of loop with it. So I'm on the second channel here. I zoom in a little bit, maybe to 4 bars. Adjust the start and end points and put it onto a loop. I'm going to crop the sample. I'm going to set the start and end points differently. I created 2 markers and I'm going to stretch the audio to make it 4 bars. I'm going to pitch it down as well. Actually kind of pitch it up. Maybe put some delay on it. And I changed the warping mode to complex because I think that sounds better than what I had before on beats. So without delay, it sounds like this now. It's a very sort of scraping kind of sound. And this is something I like to do, is that it's actually not a 4-bar loop, it's a little bit shorter. So the looping point doesn't come exactly at 4 bars. So when you make it into 16 bars, there's a little bit more unpredictability in the sample. So now you can see it's at length 330. So this is the first texture. It is from the paper tier and I made a 16-bar loop now. I would export it as an audio and then I can use it in one of my tracks. From the second sound that I recorded, the crumbling, let's use that and see if we can create a different kind of texture. So going back to the original recording, after tearing the paper, I crumbled it. So let's use that as a starting point. Copying to track number 3, call it paper crumble. I like to name my samples so I know what I'm later when I go back to this, I know what I've done. So listening to this sample, maybe you can start from here and then create maybe a 2-bar loop, 1/2 bar. So I'm playing with the pitch to find like a sweet spot of what sounds good. Put an EQ to get the low rumble out. Maybe a bit of chorus. And an alto pen. And again, I'm making a 16 bar loop, even though the actual loop itself is only 1/2 bar. But then this way you create a longer loop that has more unpredictability. Another thing to play with, to try, is the transient, this setting here with the arrow and the number, to see if we lower this, we get less of the information. Maybe something like 75. So yeah, I think I'll go with this. So as you can hear, just with a simple piece of paper, you can already create very interesting textures in a very simple way. So by tearing it up, crumbling it up into a little piece of paper, I recorded these two sounds, or these are the two sounds that I've used. The tearing up and the crumbling. And then I made it into the first texture, the tearing up. It's a very sort of scraping kind of noise. And the second one. So what I would do is export them to audio loops, and then when I'm building a track, I would either use this as a loop for like the intro or the break or maybe the ending of the track, or I would layer it in, for instance, the chorus underneath it, so you get a bit more texture and fullness. Or I would just take a little piece out of this loop and use it as a percussive element or as a transition sound, so you don't have to use the entire loop. You can just pick out a little bit that works with the song that you're making at that moment. If you don't have a shotgun mic, the one that I use, the NTG-4, you can use any kind of mic. You can even record it with your phone. Since you're doing a lot of sound design to it, the quality doesn't matter. You can get away with a lot of things. So let me know what you do to record textures, how you process it, what kind of sources you use. Do you use paper? Do you use instruments only? Let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.